Hey, what's up, guys? We're going to talk about solving systems of equations with substitution today. Okay, substitution is when you can replace equivalent values with each other, right? So we can swap out one value for something that's equivalent to it. So we're going to use that to our advantage in this strategy. What you're looking at right now is just kind of the thought process. I know it might seem confusing. Hopefully by the end of this video, it makes more sense. We're going to isolate one variable in one of the equations. So we're going to solve for either y or x. Then we're going to substitute into the other equation, solve for the variable, substitute that into the other equation, solve for the remaining variable, and then check. So isolate, substitute, solve, check. Kind of the rundown. Let's look at what this looks like. All right, so we have our system, negative 7x minus 2y equals 1 and y equals negative 4. So I'm looking for one of my equations to isolate a variable, okay? And I like to look for ones that might have already a positive or negative 1 coefficient because those are easy to get to, right? So I'm looking for that. And if I look right here at this second equation, it's already y equals. So let's use this one to start, okay? So y equals negative 4. This is awesome. This is like one of those math gifts because it already found one of our variables, okay? This is our y coordinate for our solution. So sweet, I'm already done. Y equals negative 4 means that anywhere I have a y, I can put in negative 4 and it'll be true. Okay, so let's use that to our advantage. So we isolated one. Now we're going to substitute into the other one. So our other equation is negative 7x minus 2y equals 1. We're going to take the negative 4 over here, and we're going to replace y with negative 4. So here we go. Negative 7x minus 2 times, now instead of y, we put its equivalent in there, negative 4 equals 1. Guys, now this is just a one variable equation, so let's solve for x. So we're going to have negative 7x plus 8, because negative 2 times negative 4 is positive 8, equals 1. We're going to subtract 8 from both sides. And then we divide by the coefficient because we always want to end up with positive 1 as the coefficient. So we get x equals 1. So that should be my x coordinate. All right, I love that it gave me that first one because I don't actually need this space over here. I already have a solution. I think my solution is where x is 1 and y is negative 4. Okay, but before I put that down, I'm going to check because I want to make sure it works. Remember, solutions make equations true. If it's a solution to a system, it makes both equations true. Okay, so we're going to use our equation. So I have negative 7x minus 2y equals 1. And I'm going to replace the x and the y with their equivalent values. So I'm going to have negative 7 times x is 1. Minus 2 times y is negative 4 equals 1. Use parentheses for those substitutions. Okay. All right, then we simplify this. Okay, negative 7 times 1 is negative 7. Negative 2 times negative 4 is positive 8. Negative 7 plus 8 is 1, which in fact equals 1. All right, so that equation works. Then we check our other one, which is super simple. Y equals negative 4. Wherever y is, I replace it with a negative 4. That's true. So I now officially know that my solution is 1, negative 4. Okay, so that's the process. Let's look at it where maybe it's not just gifted to us. Okay, we have negative 3x minus 8y equals 20, negative 5x plus y equals 19. So first I'm looking for any variables that have a coefficient of 1 or negative 1. And in my second equation here, there's that 1y. So I'm going to use this and we're going to solve for y. Okay, so we're going to have negative 5x plus y equals 19. We've done a lot of this. Zero out the x's. I set my screen off there for a minute. Okay, so y equals 5x plus 19. That's all I can do right now, but these are equivalent. So not like the previous one where it gave me the coordinate, but now I know that this is the same thing as y. So wherever I see y, I can swap y for 5x plus 19. Okay, so let's do it. I'm going to go back into the other equation. So negative 3x minus 8y equals 20. Wherever y is, I'm now going to put in 5x plus 19. So here we go, negative 3x minus 8 times y, which is now 5x plus 19. All of that in parentheses because I'm going to have to multiply all of that by the negative 8 equals 20. So you want to make sure you're substituting everything into a parentheses. All right, so negative 3x. Now we're going to distribute. Negative 8 times 5x is negative 40x. Negative 8 times 19 is going to be negative 152. You could use your calculator to help you with that. All right, and now we're going to solve for the x. So I have negative 3x and negative 40x. So I'm at negative 43x minus 152 equals 20. Zero out the constant. Trying to get that x alone. Divide by the coefficient. And we get x equals negative 4. Okay, all right, so we have our x coordinate. Whew. Lots of brain work here. Now that we know what x equals, I can go back into my equations. I'm going to choose that second one. And now I can replace x with its equivalent, negative 4. So where I have this x, it's going to become negative 4. So negative 5 times x is negative 4. All right, substitution plus y equals 19. Solve this for y. And we get y equals negative 1. So I think my solution is the ordered pair negative 4, negative 1. And now we're going to check. We're going to see, does that make both equations true? So negative 3x minus 8y equals 20. We're going to plug in x and y with negative 4 and negative 1. So negative 3 times negative 4 minus 8 times y is negative 1. And we see if that works. So then I get negative 3 times 4 is 12. Negative 8 times negative 1 is positive 8. 12 plus 8 is 20. All right, so it works for our first equation, but it has to work for both of them. So negative 5x plus y equals 19. Plug in. So we have negative 5 times x is negative 4 plus y is negative 1 equals 19. And we simplify. Negative 5 times negative 4 is 20. Minus 1 equals 19. Yay! It works, so I know for sure now that my solution is negative 4, negative 1. Okay, substitute, solve, check. Here we go, one more together. X plus 3y equals 1, negative 3x minus 3y equals negative 15. Okay, so I'm looking at my equations. Do any of my variables have a coefficient of 1 or negative 1? And if I look at my first one, I see this beautiful lonely x right there. So I'm going to solve that for x. All right, so here we go. X plus 3y equals 1. We want to solve for x, so we're going to subtract the 3y. We get x equals 1 minus 3y. Okay, it's not a number, but now we have equivalent values. So wherever I see an x, I can swap it for 1 minus 3y. They are equivalent. We can exchange them for each other. So let's do it. Let's take the other equation. So negative 3x minus 3y equals negative 15. And anywhere we see x, because that's what we solved for, we can now put 1 minus 3y. So negative 3 times x, which is now 1 minus 3y, minus 3y equals negative 15. Now I have all y's, so now I can solve for the y coordinate. So we're going to distribute. Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. Negative 3 times negative 9 is positive. So negative 3y is positive 9y. Sorry, jumping ahead of myself, getting all jumbled up. All right, minus 3y equals negative 15. And we just go through and finish this. Okay, so 9y minus 3y is going to leave me with 6y's over here. We want to zero out the constant because we're trying to get y alone. Divide by the coefficient. We get y equals negative 2. Okay, so there's our y coordinate. Awesome. Now we substitute that into an equation to find our x value. Okay, so I'm going to use x plus 3y equals 1. Wherever y is, I now know it's negative 2. So x plus 3 times y is now negative 2 equals 1. Solve for x. This is 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. Zero out that negative 6. We get x equals 7. Okay, so that should be my x coordinate. So we think we have our solution, 7, negative 2. Now we check to prove it, convince ourselves we know what we're doing. So x plus 3y equals 1. All right, x is 7, y is negative 2. So x is 7 plus 3 times y is negative 2 equals 1. 7 minus 6 equals 1. 1 equals 1. Okay, it works for that one. Sweet. Okay, we have to check both of them because the solution makes equations true. If it's a solution to a system, it makes both true. Replace x with 7, y with negative 2. So negative 3 times x is 7, minus 3 times y is negative 2. Notice my parentheses for the multiplication. Okay, and then we start simplifying this. So we get negative 21 plus 6 equals negative 15. Negative 15 equals negative 15. We are math pros. Our solution is 7, negative 2. That is how you use substitution. So isolate for one variable, substitute and solve, check it, and boom, there you go. That's substitution. You got this.